Abdul Shakur Khamis, a former refugee from Sudan, considers Utica his home.
I just feel I came home after 15 years of exile. So.
He has had a smooth transition into his life in the United States and uses his experience in his role as a cultural broker, assisting others in whatever way possible with their new lives in the United States.
My name is Abdul Shakur Khamis. I was born January 1st, 1973. I was born in Jabal Marra, Western Sudan, which is Darfur. Jabal Marra is a mountain. It is a huge mountain. We call people mountains.
In 1983, drought in Darfur led to the internal migration of people from Western Sudan to areas in the north. As a child, he attended school there until civil war plagued the region, forcing him to flee to Egypt. Although Abdul Shakur planned to remain in Egypt for only a few years, intense violence in Sudan kept him there for 15.
Then things even were worse, and I seek protection to United Nations as a refugee. Finally, they accept me and send me to the United States as a part of a durable solution to my problem.
After his 15-year stay in Egypt, Abdul Shakur arrived in Utica, New York. He had what he describes as a smooth transition to life in Utica.
But I like the place and I like the people. It's very welcoming, also very diverse too. I always feel that I'm learning something new culture, new people.
Having lived and worked in Cairo for a number of years, Abdul Shakur spoke English well and quickly found a job.
But in my case, I knew the language and I worked with Americans a couple of years before I came here. I'm just lucky that I've always had a job.
Abdul Shakur notes that the transition is not always so smooth.
Not very much in my particular case. Some challenges which most people, newcomers, notice is the language, and new culture.
Abdul Shakur admits that because of these challenges, Utica's Sudanese refugee community is forming slowly.
Well, good jobs, sometimes family commitments, just makes it harder.
Understanding that former refugees face challenges with a new language and way of life upon resettlement, Abdul Shakur serves as a resource to new refugees. Since June of 2006, Abdul Shakur has worked as an IT coordinator for the Mohawk Valley Resource Center for Refugees. In addition to this job, he translates for new refugees in Utica, in hospitals, courts, and at the MVRCR. Although Abdul Shakur is a former refugee himself, he utilizes his knowledge of Utica, English, and American culture to serve as a cultural broker to others. 7 years after his arrival, Abdul Shakur identifies Utica as his home.
I have wonderful neighbors. Yeah, it's a nice place.
To this day, he considers it a welcoming place to live.
Very welcoming city. Utica is also very hardworking, very diverse.
The city has all of the amenities that he believes make up a home and feels fortunate to be living there. For Abdul Shakur, Utica is home, a place where he leads a happy life with his wife and 2 children.
Because home is a place where you feel relaxed, where you feel peace, where you feel welcome. You get a job, when kids go to school, have family, have friends, so that's what you consider home. So, happy to be Utica.
Former refugee experiences in Utica vary with each individual or family, and their transitions are aided by the MVRCR and people like Abdul Shakur.
The most challenging is the language. That's why institutions like Refugee Center do the best to make resources available for refugees and immigrants to have access to ESL.
The refugee community also helps each other out.
Yeah, we interact with both newcomers and people who have been here a while.
Although Abdul Shakur notes that language, culture, and transportation are all challenges faced by refugees in Utica, he believes in the strengths of networks available to refugees. Transportation in particular is something the community rallies around, helping each other carpool to and from work.
Public transportation is challenging. I had a situation where a newcomer just put them in an apartment and I told them it's a problem. This is my number.
The simple act of giving this family his telephone number can mean the world to a family that is completely new there. As a cultural broker, Abdul Shakur fulfills a vital role in the community by helping newcomers attain a renewed sense of home and way of life.